This month of August is definitely going to be the luckiest month of 2025. Since June, we have been experiencing the blessings of Jupiter in Cancer. Now, Jupiter will going to bless us even more because it's going to conjunct, merge its energy with Venus in Cancer, and also this conjunction is going to be very close with the position of Sirius, the brightest star in the sky. So it's kind of like a triple conjunctions of benefics: Sirius, Venus, and Jupiter. Not only that, the entire month of August is quite busy in terms of astrological events, astrological energies. We have Mars ingress into Libra, Venus later in the month ingress into Leo, we have Sun ingress into Virgo, we have full moon in Aquarius, new moon in Virgo, and then we also have Mars opposition to Saturn, Mars opposition to Neptune, and we also cannot forget that Mercury is going to turn direct this month. So this month is going to be very busy, but it's also going to be definitely the luckiest month of 2025. And this is my take on the month of August for all 12 rising signs. For the first rising sign, we will go to Aries rising, the most accurate, followed by Aries sun and Aries moon. For my dear Aries rising friends, this August highlights will focus the energies on your first and seventh house, because your chart ruler, which is Mars, is going to ingress into Libra, your seventh house, and it will oppose Saturn and Neptune currently in your first house. So your relationship axis 1 and 7 will be activated by your chart ruler moving into Libra to your seventh house. After that, we will also going to experience a full moon in Aquarius that will activate your 11th house, friendships, networkings. And then with the Jupiter, Venus, and Sirius conjunction will activate your 4th house, Cancer house, which is your family, your properties, your house, your mother, right? It is also your ancestry, your emotional foundations. And then when Mercury goes direct, it will activate, once again, it will reactivate, right, your 5th house, because for Aries rising, Mercury currently in Leo, also retrograde still in Leo, will be in your 5th house, creativity, fun, hobbies, romance, children. And then when the Sun ingress into Virgo, all 6th house matters will be activated: health, pets, work, service. And then when Venus finally leaves Cancer and then ingress into Leo, it will once again reactivate or enhance the 5th house. When the new moon in Virgo happen in late or in the later part of August, once again, your 6th house will be illuminated. First by the Sun and then also by the Moon. Of course, new moon is Sun and Moon conjunct in your 6th house of work, day-to-day activities, health, pets. Basically, the details of your life will be activated or illuminated by both luminaries, Sun and the Moon, in your 6th house. So for Aries rising, this entire month of August, the key would be your chart ruler Mars entering your 7th house in Libra, opposing Saturn and Neptune in your 1st house, and then the great lucky energy, Venus, Jupiter, will be enhancing your 4th house, your family, your homes. So for my dear Aries rising friends, 1st house, 7th house, 5th house, 4th house, 6th house, and 11th house all will be activated or enhanced by these astrological transits in the month of August. Okay, for the next rising sign, we will go to Taurus rising. For my dear Taurus rising friends, the most accurate, followed by Taurus sun and Taurus moon. For this August highlights, the energies of this entire month for you Taurus rising is going to be very, very beneficial. Why? Because your chart ruler, which is Venus, is going to conjunct Sirius and Jupiter in the sign of Cancer. This is going to be a very, very beneficial, very, very blessed. This is a very, very lucky time, not just for all of us, but especially for those signs that are ruled by Venus, which is Taurus, which is you, and the other one, which is Libra. For Taurus rising, your chart ruler, Venus and Jupiter and Sirius conjunction will occur in your third house, because for a Taurus rising, the second house is Gemini, the fourth house is, the second house is Gemini, the third house is Cancer. So your third house will be greatly, greatly enhanced by this beneficial energy of Jupiter-Venus conjunction. For the earlier part of the month, we're going to have Mars ingress into Libra, right? Libra is for Taurus rising, Libra is your 6th house. So Mars will ingress into your 6th house. This is, in traditional astrology, Mars enjoys being in the 6th house. This is the house of enjoyment for planet Mars. So Mars is good here. Even though the expression is in Libra, it's not really happy in Libra, but still, it's in the house where it can do pretty much many positive things, because the 6th house is the house of health, work, daily details. This is basically the house where you need to improve things. Mars loves to improve things. After that, Mars will oppose Saturn and Neptune in your 12th house. So this is about mental health, 12th house, and physical health, 6th house. You also have to be careful. Mars have this inflammatory effect on the body, because 6th house is also the house that governs bodily health. So you have to be extra careful regarding your body. Inflammation is the signature of Mars. Accidents also, so be very, very careful. And then after Mars, Saturn, Neptune opposition, we're going to have, of course, the full moon in Aquarius, right? Aquarius, for my Taurus rising friend, Aquarius will be your 10th house, right? Because for Taurus, the 10th house is Aquarius. So for Taurus rising, there's going to be an illumination or completion on the things related to your career. 10th house, full moon. After the full moon, we're going to have Mercury going direct in your Leo house. Leo is your 4th house. So there's going to be something happening, something finally moving again in your 4th house. Family, home, house, properties, your emotional foundation. There's something regarding your family going to move again, or there's going to be a decision finally taken, because Mercury retrogrades often delay things. So things that has been delayed in the realm of your 4th house, it's going to start again. It's going to move again with Mercury going direct. And then after Mercury goes direct, we're going to have Venus Jupiter conjunction in your 3rd house, of course, right? This is going to be a very beneficial time. Your siblings, your communications, your vehicles, your skills, your knowledge going to be expanded greatly by this. And then after that, we're going to experience this Sun ingress, right? Sun ingress from Cancer. Sun ingress from Leo to Virgo. The ingress will happen for you, Taurus rising, from the 4th, which is Leo, to the 5th. So the 5th house is going to be illuminated when Sun ingress into Virgo. This is the house of fun, creativities, children. Those things could be top priority for you during Virgo seasons. After Sun ingress into Virgo, we're going to have, of course, new moon in Virgo, right? New moon in Virgo. The new moon together with the Sun conjunct, it will further enhance, illuminate your fifth house. Children, hobbies, creativities, those things going to be further enhanced. And then after that, we're going to have your chart ruler Venus ingress from Cancer after it creates that very lovely conjunction with Jupiter. Venus will ingress from Cancer into Leo, into your fourth house. So Venus, your chart ruler, will further enhance the fourth house. So your family members, your homes, right? This is your emotional foundations, your mother. Those things could also be on top of your agenda because your chart ruler Venus will move into your fourth house. For the third rising sign, we will go to Gemini rising, the most accurate, followed by Gemini sun and Gemini moon. For my dear Gemini rising friends, this August highlight will finally give some clarity and some movement to you. Why? Because for all of these few weeks, your chart ruler, which is Mercury, is going retrograde. Mercury is going retrograde in your third house. Because for Gemini rising, the second house is Cancer, the third house is Leo. So you are the original ruler of the third house, and currently your transiting ruler, which is Mercury, is also retrograde in the third house. So you're familiar with this energy. Blocked communications, delayed communications, all of those things, right? So the highlight of August, not just your chart ruler going direct again in your third house, but Mars is going to enter Libra, which is your fifth house. This is about getting something done or movement in terms of creativities, fun, hobbies, children. But Mars will be opposed by Saturn and Neptune in your 11th house, friendships, networking, social media. So be very careful regarding these two the axis of 5th and 11th is the axis of not the self, but the self-expression. So Mars in the house of self-expression, 5th house, opposed by Saturn and Neptune in the house of the other, where we self-express and come to meet the other, the 11th house. So after the Mars Saturn Neptune opposition, we're going to experience full moon in Aquarius. Aquarius is in your for you, Aquarius is in your 9th house. So full moon completion in terms of the 9th house matters. 9th house is relative to adventure, travel. This is also the 9th house is the house where you can freely express your knowledge. Travel, adventure, foreigners, right? So if you've been trying to travel, if you've been trying to apply for a visa, well, the results could trickle in, or you could know the result of your visa application by the time of this full moon in Aquarius. Remember, the 9th house is also the house of higher learning, higher education, philosophy of life. This is also the house of publication. And since you're Gemini rising, communication, 9th house is also communication and publication. You could do something regarding the theme of publication, or if you want to publish a book, you can do something with this full moon in Aquarius energy. After the full moon, we're going to have the very beneficial Venus Jupiter series conjunction in your 2nd house. So money. For Gemini rising, Cancer is your 2nd house. So this is all about money. You are one of the few very, very, very lucky rising signs, because both benefics that involve with luck, love, relationship, money, wealth, luxuries, both of them are currently in your 2nd house conjunct merging together with Sirius. So use this energy to make more money, to manifest more material success for you, Gemini. After Jupiter and Venus conjunction, we're going to have, of course, Mercury turns direct in your Leo house. Leo is your third house. And then after Mercury goes direct, right, we're going to have Sun ingress from Leo into Virgo, from the third into your fourth house. So your family matters going to be illuminated by the ingress of the Sun into Virgo. Fourth house is family, house, properties, emotional foundations. After that, Venus, after involving in great conjunction in your second house, Venus of course will ingress from Cancer into Leo into your third house, further enhancing, further beautifying your communication. But before that, we're going to experience new moon in Virgo in your fourth house. So there's something new that you're going to manifest in terms of your family, homes, right? In terms of your emotional foundations. So because your chart ruler Mercury finally going direct this month, this is going to be a very beneficial month for you, my Gemini rising friends. Okay, for the fourth rising sign, we will go to Cancer rising, the most accurate, followed by Cancer sun and Cancer moon. For my dear Cancer rising friends, this August highlight will focus on the very beneficial, very, very strong, benefic conjunction in the first house, in your house. So Venus beautifying your body, your first house, will going to merge with Jupiter already in your first house, the energy of optimism, wealth, luck. Sirius is also already there, close, and then this three will going to conjunct in your first house. This is the highlight of August. Okay, for August, the other highlights for you and also for the other rising signs is going to be first, Mars ingress into Libra. For my dear Cancer rising friends, Libra is your fourth house. Libra is your fourth house. So Mars going to enter your fourth house. Be careful of conflict with your family, your mother, heavy, hot energies in your home. Be careful with that. But Mars also will give you extra energy to do something, finish something, improve something in terms of your fourth house matters, your homes, right? But be very careful with the hot-headed, piercing energy of Mars. And then we're going to have Mars opposition with both Saturn and Neptune from your 10th house. So this is about a balance between your career, or Aries, 10th house, and also Mars in your 4th house family. So balance between home and the outside world and career is going to be highlighted also in the month of August. After that, we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius, right? Aquarius is your 8th house because your 7th house is Capricorn, your 8th house is Aquarius. So something is going to be illuminated with this full moon in Aquarius relative to your 8th house. 8th house is the house of shared resources, intimacy, transformation, dark things, taboo things. This is also the house of sex. This is also the house of crisis, death, right? So those things that we're normally not very open to talk about, we're not comfortable to talk about, will need to be faced by you because full moon is going to illuminate those things, 8th house. And then after the full moon in Aquarius, right, we're going, of course, to have the very beneficial conjunction Jupiter and Venus in your 1st house, right? This is you, so you can pretty much do anything you want with this very, very positive energy in your 1st house. You're lucky. And then after that, we're going to experience the we're going to experience Mercury turns direct in your Leo house, 2nd house. So finally, money matters going to move again because Mercury is going to be direct decision about money making or anything involving money can be made again. You can make those decisions again after Mercury turns direct in your second house. And then after that, Sun will ingress into Virgo. For Cancer, Virgo is your third house. So the Sun will highlight your third house, communications. And then after that, we're going to also have a new moon in Virgo, also in your third house, further illuminating, adding extra energy to your third house of communications and siblings and skills and knowledge and vehicles and gadgets. Those things going to be illuminated and getting extra oomph with the Sun, the Moon, and the new moon here. And then after that, we're going to experience Venus ingress from your first house to your second house, further enhancing your money matters, further enhancing your financial situation. Remember, Venus is the planet of money, entering the house of money. So for my dear Cancer rising friends, make sure you stay positive, because this August is going to be very, very lucky for you. Okay, for my fifth rising sign, we will go to Leo rising, the most accurate, followed by Leo sun and Leo moon. For my dear Leo rising friends, this month the Sun is in your first house. You are the Sun. Not only that, Mercury, which has been retrograding for a few weeks, finally going to be direct in your first house. So the highlight of August for my dear Leo rising friends, of course, Mars is going to ingress into Libra. Right, for my dear Leo rising friends, Libra is your third house. Mars will infuse its very decisive, sometimes inflammatory and conflict-ridden energies into your third house. So be careful. Watch your words. Watch your words, definitely. Not only that, Mars is going to be opposed by Saturn and Neptune in your ninth house. So this is the axis of communication and knowledge. So it's about communications, knowledge. Just be careful with what you say. You can think in a very inflammatory, you can think in a very critical way, but before those thoughts leave your mouth, think. And then after that, we're going to have a new moon in Aquarius. For Leo, Aquarius is your seventh house, relationship, marriage, partnership, business partnership also included. So this full moon is going to illuminate those things. And finally, you can make a decision whether you want to continue your effort or you want to cut things that no longer serves you. So this full moon Aquarius will highlight your seventh house. And then after that, we're going to experience, of course, the Venus-Jupiter-Sirius conjunction in the sign of Cancer, very beneficial. But for you, it can be a bit hidden, because this conjunction, this energy is going to happen in your 12th house, the house of the sleep, the house of the rest, the house of mental health. So focus on your mental health. Be positive, affirmations. Make sure your mental health is very good. This is a good, very positive, beneficial energy for your mental health, Leo. And after that, we're going to have, of course, Mercury turns direct in your first house. Finally, you can start to move again, make decisions. And then we will have the Sun, which is your chart ruler, move from you, the first house, into Virgo, your second house. So this is about money. Money, resources, value will be highlighted by the move or the ingress of the Sun from the first to the second. We're going also to have new moon in Virgo. New moon in Virgo also will happen in your second house, house of Virgo, because for Leo rising, Virgo is your second house. So once again, further impetus for making more money. New moon, manifesting more money. After the Sun ingress into Virgo and new moon in Virgo, we're going to have Venus moving from Cancer, your 12th house, into Leo, your first house. So you're going to have extra energy to beautify yourself, to make yourself feel more beautiful, more attractive with Venus. another lucky, very positive energy for you, Leo. So Venus moving into your first house. So for my Leo rising friends, the 12th house, the 6th house will be activated, the 7th house will be activated, the 2nd house also we're going to be activated. So the 9th house is also going to be activated. So for this August highlights, your chart ruler, the Sun, is going to move from you, the first house, into your second house, your money house. And also the beneficial energy of Venus will move to your first house to beautify. You can beautify yourself. Okay, for my 6 rising signs, which is Virgo, for my dear Virgo rising friends, this August highlights will highlight Mercury going direct, because for Virgo rising, Mercury is your chart ruler, the key to everything. So Mercury is going to be direct in Leo in your 12th house, because for Virgo, Leo is your 12th house. So your chart ruler is currently in your 12th house. You could feel a little lethargic, don't know what to think. Yeah, the 12th house is the house where Mercury will feel in prison, right? This is the house where Mercury is not really comfortable with, right? And the fact that it's also retrograde will add further strain to you. So just be very mindful, focus on your rest, focus on your mental health. Mercury will finally going direct in Leo. The highlight of this August will be the first, Mars will enter Libra, right? Libra is your second house for my Virgo rising friends. So Virgo, and then after Virgo, we're going to experience Libra, second house. So you can make more money with this. Use the very assertive Mars energy to make or manifest more money. If you want to manifest more money, more material wealth. After that, Mars is going to be opposed, right, by Saturn and Neptune in your 8th house, Aries. So be very, very careful. 8th house is the house of secrets. It's the house that you don't want to face, house of transformation. It is also the house of karma, right? So it's definitely just like the second house. The 8th house is also money. Second house is your money, 8th house is other people's money. So Saturn, Neptune, and Mars will going to oppose each other in this very money axis, 2nd and 8th house. So you have to be very entrepreneurship in terms of your money, but also very careful in terms of your money, because Mars is a very entrepreneurial planet. It likes to create things, it likes to manifest things. Yes, because it's an effort planet, right? But you have to be careful. Saturn will delay it. Saturn will create a blockage. Neptune could also create blockage because of this opposition. After Mars enters the second house, Libra, and opposition with Saturn and Neptune, we're going to experience a full moon in Aquarius, right? For you, Libra, Aquarius, for you, Virgo, Aquarius is your 6th house. So there's going to be illumination in your 6th house matters for you. In terms of health, daily details, daily routines. But this is actually quite good for you, because Virgo, you are the traditional ruler, original ruler of the 6th house. You're familiar with the 6th house. The 6th house is to some extent embodiment of you, your energy, improving things, right? Making things work. So full moon in Aquarius will highlight those things. After the effort, after 6 months effort that you have been putting in since January, the result will appear, will known to you by the full moon Aquarius on the 9th of August. So whatever you want to improve in the 6th house, you can do it during this full moon, and also days after that. So you can know what I need to improve, further improve in terms of your 6th house. And then after that, we're going to experience Venus and Jupiter conjunction in Cancer, right? So my Virgo rising friends, Cancer is your 11th house. Remember, Jupiter in the 11th house is very, very beneficial, because the 11th house is the house of joy for Jupiter. Jupiter really loves to be in the 11th house. With Venus here and Sirius also here, of course Sirius will not move, it will stay in your 11th house forever basically, right? So with Venus here, Jupiter here, Sirius here, your 11th house, your friendship, your network, your social media will get a massive, massive boost of positivity. Use it. After your 11th house, Jupiter-Venus conjunction, of course, Mercury is going to turn direct. Mercury is your chart ruler, direct in your 12th house, house of mental health, house of rest, sleep. So pay attention to your sleep, pay attention to your rest. Yes, rest your mind, because sometimes, often, as a Virgo rising, you cannot rest your mind. This is a time to rest your mind. And after your chart ruler goes direct, you can finally make a decision relative to your mental health. And then after that, we're going to have Sun ingress from your 12th house Leo into 1st house you. You're going to get extra oomph because the Sun will enter your 1st house. Not only that, after Sun ingress into Virgo, we're going to have a new moon in Virgo. You are going to be the star of this new moon in Virgo, right? So you have to be ready for it, because currently the South Node is also in your sign, so you're feeling something that you need to let go in terms of your 1st house. But this new moon will add further energy, and the Sun also will add further energy in whatever decision relative to your 1st house that you want to improve. And then after the Sun and the new moon, Venus will ingress from Cancer in your 11th house to your 12th house. Venus is exalted in the sign of the 12th house, Pisces, and now Venus will enter the 12th house. So Venus actually quite good in the 12th house. So Venus will enhance your sleep, your dreams, your rest, but just be very mindful that sometimes the energy of Venus can be clouded by fantasies in the 12th house. So basically your mental health is going to be enhanced with Venus transiting or ingress from your 11th house Cancer into Leo. Okay, for the 7th rising sign, we will go to Libra rising, the most accurate, followed by Libra sun and Libra moon. For my dear Libra rising friends, this August highlights is going to focus on your 10th house and also your 1st house. Why? Because Jupiter Venus Sirius conjunction will happen in your 10th house, career, wow. And then Mars is going to enter your 1st house. Mars is going to enter your 1st house, your body. Be very careful, but also be mindful, but also you can also be excited because Mars will add extra energy to your effort. Okay, the highlight of the month of August for my dear Libra rising friends. First, of course, Mars enters into Libra, your 1st house, so you can get extra energy, right, to do things, to create things, to manifest things, whatever you want. But you also have to be careful of inflammation, diseases, because whenever Mars enters the 1st house, or thing, or places, or parts on the chart that have to do with your body, Mars could add extra inflammation. So be very, very careful, take care of your health. After that, Mars is going to be opposed by Saturn and Neptune in your 7th house. So this is about you and other people. So Saturn and Neptune in the house of 7th house, about other people, relationship, marriage. So if you express the energy of Mars in a pure, unobstructed Martian way, you could get trouble from other people. That's the meaning of opposition. Between me and you, I'm not going to budge. Mars, Saturn, Mars, Neptune opposition. So be very careful because this is happening in your relationship axis between you and other people. And then after that, we're going to experience full moon in Aquarius in your 5th house. Right? This is about creativity, fun, children, romance, hobbies. So those things are going to be illuminated for you after 6 months roughly of effort, because the new moon in Aquarius happens in late January, and then the result of that will appear on this full moon Aquarius on the 9th of August. So whatever you want to fix or improve relative to your 5th house, you can do it by this full moon energy in Aquarius. After that, we're going to, of course, experience a huge blessings in your 10th house of career and public image. Your chart ruler, which is Venus, is going to conjunct Jupiter and Sirius in your 10th house. This is a very public house. This, in fact, together with the first house, this is the house where you can show off yourself, because this is basically the house of public image. If you want to be a star, if you want to be a movie star, if you want to be famous, this is the energy for it. If you want to achieve something in your career, this is the energy for it. Use it, my dear Libra friends. Use it. After that, of course, we have Mercury going to goes direct in Leo in your 11th house. So friendship, networking, social media going to move again, right? Going to improve again, right? Because after weeks of Mercury stalling or retrograde, decisions cannot be made, or if you made a decision, the results not going to be in your favor. So you can make that. You can make those decisions again after Mercury goes direct in your 11th house. After that, we're going to have Sun ingress into Virgo in your 12th house. So the Sun moves into Virgo, and also new moon in Virgo in your 12th house. So 12th house is also going to be very crucial for the month of August and also the month of September after that, because the Sun is here. So the Sun will illuminate the 12th house, your sleep, right? Your rest, your mental health. Remember, 12th house is also hidden enemies, so be very careful. And after that, Venus, your chart ruler, will move from your 10th house to your 11th house, from Cancer to Leo. So further enhancement in terms of your 11th house, which is your networking, friends, and social media. Use it. Okay, next we will go to the 8th rising sign, which is Scorpio rising. For my dear Scorpio rising friends, the most accurate, followed by Scorpio sun and Scorpio moon. For my dear Scorpio rising friends, this August highlights will highlight your chart ruler, which is Mars. You have two chart rulers. One is Pluto, one is Mars. Mars will ingress into Libra. Yes, Libra is your 12th house. So your chart ruler is in the 12th house. Mars is not comfortable in the 12th house. It's also not comfortable in the sign of Libra. So be very careful. So make sure you pay attention to your mental health, your rest, and your sleep, your energy also. And then Mars will going to be opposed by Saturn and Neptune in your 6th house. 6th house is the house of health, daily details, routine, service, work, pets. So further enhancing the health axis, mental health, Mars in Libra, physical health, 6th house, Saturn and Neptune, opposition. And then after that, we're going to experience a full moon in Aquarius in your 4th house. This is about your family, your homes, your properties, your emotional foundations, your mother. So those things going to be highlighted, illuminated, and so you can take a look at them and make a decision whether you want to improve those things in your 4th house. Full moon in Aquarius. And then for my dear Scorpio rising friends, after the full moon in Aquarius, we're going to have the very beneficial Jupiter, Venus, Sirius conjunction. This is going to happen in the sign of Cancer in your 9th house. So this is a very beneficial, this is actually the original energy or the original house of Jupiter. So it's very beneficial for you in terms of your optimistic view on life. This is because this is the house of life philosophies. This is also the house of higher minds, higher learning, higher educations, travel, adventure. This is also the house that encapsulates freedom. This is the house of publications, universities, studies, house of skills, also knowledge. So those things could be expanded. Your mind could be expanded. you can change yourself from a very pessimistic Scorpio to a very optimistic Scorpio. Use this energy. And then after that, we're going to have Mercury turns direct in Leo, right? For you, my dear Scorpio rising friends, Leo is your 10th house, right? Leo is your 10th house. So Mercury is going to be direct in your 10th house. And then after your 10th house, so you can make a decision in terms of your career, public image, because Mercury finally goes direct there after a few weeks of retrograde. So new decisions, if you've been making decisions and it's not working, finally, after Mercury goes direct, it could be positive in terms of your career in 10th house. After Mercury goes direct over your 10th house, then we're going to have the Sun ingress from Leo, your 10th house, into Virgo. Virgo is your 11th house. So the Sun will highlight your 11th house. This is about friendship, networking, social media. So those things could improve, further improve by the Sun entering your 11th house. And after the Sun enters your 11th house from your 10th house, a new moon also will happen in your 11th house in Virgo. Because for Scorpio rising, Libra is your 12th, Virgo is your 11th. So new moon in Virgo and Sun ingress into Virgo, your 11th house will be further highlighted. Friendship, networking, social media. This is also the house of hopes and dreams on long-term vision of your life. So those things could further illuminated, further strengthened by the Sun and this new moon. And then after that, we're going to have Venus, the planet of love, relationship, beauty, luxuries, and money. Venus will ingress from Cancer, your 9th house, into your 10th house, further enhancing your career, 10th house. Okay, we will go next to the 9th rising sign, which is Sagittarius rising. For my dear Sagittarius rising friends, the most accurate, followed by Sagittarius Sun and Sagittarius Moon. For my Sagittarius rising friends, the highlight of August is going to be your chart ruler, which is in exaltation in Cancer, going to conjunct Sirius, the brightest star in the night sky, and also Venus, the planet of money, luxuries, beauty, and love. This is a very, very, very great conjunction for you. This conjunction is going to happen in your 8th house. Okay, so now for Sagittarius rising, the highlight of August is going to first start with Mars entering Libra. Yes, for Sagittarius rising, Libra is your 11th house. Because before Sagittarius, there's Scorpio, and then in the 11th house is Libra. So Mars is going to further add extra energy and oomph into your 11th house. So Mars actually loves to be in the 11th house. This is the house of friendship, house of social media, house of gains. This is also the house of hopes and dreams and your long-term goals. So Mars really loves here. Pay attention to your anger, of course. Don't rattle the cages too much with your friends. Okay? And then after that, Mars is going to be opposed by Saturn and Neptune in your 5th house. Aries is your 5th house. So Saturn and Neptune in the house of fun, pleasures, hobbies, children's, love. Saturn and Neptune will oppose this effort put by Mars in your 11th house. So just be mindful of that. And then after Mars, Saturn, Neptune opposition, we're going to have full moon in Aquarius. Full moon Aquarius for you, my Sagittarius rising friends, will highlight, right? Because Aquarius is your 3rd house. Because for Sagittarius, the 2nd house is Capricorn, the 3rd house is Aquarius. So full moon in terms of your communications, siblings, knowledge, skills, gadgets, vehicles. So this thing could be illuminated by this full moon. Remember, full moon energy is not necessarily an ending energy. It's an energy where finally you've got the bigger picture. Then you can make a decision of what to keep, what things that you should keep, and what things that you should discard or let go of. That's the main thing of full moon energies. So just bear in mind, just focus on what you need to improve in your 3rd house and then discard the rest. At the full moon Aquarius, we're going to experience, of course, the Jupiter, Venus, and Sirius conjunction in your 8th house, because for Sagittarius, Cancer is your 8th house. This is the house of transformation, the house of other people's money, shared resources, intimacy, sex. This is the house, also the house of crisis, the house of death. So this is not necessarily a positive house, but this is a necessary house. So this is the house where you need to transform yourself for the better. With this very benefic Jupiter, Venus, Sirius energy, you can definitely transform yourself for the better. After Jupiter, Venus conjunction, we're going to have, of course, Mercury turns direct. Mercury turns direct for you in your 9th house. Finally, decision regarding your higher minds, higher learning, travel, adventure could be on the horizons, because after Mercury retrograde for several weeks, you're confused of what decision that you need to make. Finally, after Mercury turns direct, you can make that decision regarding your 9th house. After that, we're going to have the Sun ingress into Virgo and New Moon in Virgo. Sun ingress into Virgo and New Moon in Virgo will highlight your 10th house. Something new in terms of your career, extra energy to propel you to do something new in terms of your career. Extra energy in your 10th house, because for Sagittarius, Virgo is your 10th house, your career, public image. And then after that, we're going to have Venus, the planet of love, relationship, and money, ingress from Cancer in your 8th house into Leo, your 9th house. So adventure, travel, higher learning, higher minds, going to be further enhanced by the ingress of Venus into your 9th house. Okay, for my 10th rising sign, we will go to Capricorn rising, the most accurate, followed by Capricorn sun and Capricorn moon. For my dear Capricorn rising friends, this August highlight will highlight your chart ruler, which is Saturn, opposing Mars in Libra. So the highlight for the month of August, first we're going to have Mars ingress into Libra into your 10th house. So Mars in the 10th house, extra energy to chase what you want in terms of your career. But it will be opposed by your chart ruler, which is Saturn, in your 4th house. Saturn and Neptune in your 4th house, opposing Mars in the 10th house. So this is the axis of the inner world and the outer world. So a balance needs to be found, needs to be achieved here between your career and your home. And then after that, we're going to have Aquarius full moon in your 2nd house. This is about money, whatever effort that you've been putting into your manifesting or money-making ventures, it will appear by the time of the full moon in Aquarius, so you can see the results and you can also improve and discard things that you don't need. Full moon Aquarius in your 2nd house. After that, we're going to experience Jupiter, Venus, Sirius conjunction in your 7th house. This is about relationship, marriage, business partnership, contracts. This is a very good time if you want to get married. Simple. If you want to have a very blessed relationship, very blessed marriage, use this energy in your 7th house. Do not waste Jupiter, Venus conjunction in your 7th house. Use it. And then after that, we're going to have Mercury turns direct in your Leo house. Leo is your 8th house. Things regarded to mysteries, dark stuff, transformation, death, crisis, other people's money, right? This is the house of the taboo things. Mercury goes direct here, will try to convey a message for you that you can continue in experiencing those things or gaining more knowledge regarding those things. Remember, 8th house is also the house of money, other people's money. If you want to invest, Mercury turns direct in your 8th house. It's a good time to do it. But of course, with everything involving Mercury, you need to do your due diligence. You need to you need to invest more in learning or knowing things or studying things before you decided you want to invest, because investments with Mercury here can be good, but you need to do your study, learning, or you need to research more. And then after that, we're going to have the Sun ingress into Virgo. Virgo will be your 9th house. New moon also is going to happen in Virgo in your 9th house. 9th house further boosted by the appearance of the Sun, or the ingress of the Sun and new moon in Virgo. So your higher learning, higher minds, this is also about travel, adventure, freedom, right? Book publishing. Basically, this is the house where, this is also the house of religion, right? So further emphasis on the way you see the world by the ingress of the Sun and new moon in Virgo. And then after that, we're going to have Venus ingress from Cancer, 7th house, into your 8th house. This is a good time to look at your portfolio, because Venus together with Mercury goes direct, right? In your 8th house could further add extra energy in your 8th house if you decided you want to invest money or invest in terms of other people's money. This is the time for it, but of course you need to do your research. Okay, for the 11th sign, we will go to Aquarius rising. That was accurate, followed by Aquarius sun and Aquarius moon. For my dear Aquarius rising friends, this August highlight will highlight first, of course, this full moon in Aquarius in your sign. So you're going to be the star of this full moon. And then after that, of course, the Mars ingress into Libra, and of course, this Venus Jupiter Sirius conjunction. Of course, for the first part of August, the highlight for August for my dear Aquarius rising friends, the first part is going to be Mars ingress into Libra. Libra, for my dear Aquarius friends, is your 9th house. So Mars in the 9th house, this is about religion, travel, adventure, higher learning, higher minds, book publishings, universities, right? If you want to chase those things, do it. If you want to publish your book, do it. If you want to travel, adventure, experiencing foreign lands, do it, right? But you also have to remember, the 9th house is also involved with religion. Mars and religion, so be very careful with your convictions. Okay, after Mars ingress into Libra, Mars going to be opposed by Saturn and Neptune in your 3rd house, in Aries house. So be very, very mindful of your thoughts and your communications, because you could upset people. Because Mars is not happy in the sign of Libra, and Saturn is also not happy in the sign of Aries. So yeah, be very, very careful with your communications. Think first before you speak. That's my mantra. That's my advice. After that, we're going to have, of course, the full moon in Aquarius in your 1st house. It's all about you, whatever you want to achieve. During the last new moon in January in Aquarius, you can see the results during the full moon in Aquarius on the 9th of August. So you can see the results and judge for yourself and discard things that you don't need. After that, we're going to experience Venus and Jupiter conjunction, of course with Sirius, in the sign of Cancer. So for my dear Aquarius rising friends, Cancer is your 6th house. So use this very beneficial energy for your advantage in terms of your physical health, pets, your work, your daily details, your routines, your chores. Basically use this energy to improve your life. 6th house is the house of improvement. And then after that, we're going to experience Mercury turns direct in Leo. Leo is your 7th house. So whatever decision that you want to make in terms of your relationship, your partnership, and also your contract, you can do it now. after Mercury turns direct in your 7th house. And then after that, we're going to have the Sun ingress. Yes, the Sun ingress into the Sun ingress from your 7th house Leo into your 8th house Virgo. Not only that, the Sun together with new moon in new moon in Virgo will highlight your 8th house, because Virgo is your 8th house, my dear because Virgo is your 8th house, my dear Aquarius rising friends, because Aquarius, the 7th house is Leo, Virgo is the 8th. So the Sun ingress into Virgo and new moon in Virgo will highlight your 8th house. This is the house of transformation. So this is the time for you to transform yourself for the better. Right? This is also the house of investments if you're thinking about money. And then after the Sun and new moon in in Virgo in your 8th house, then we will have Venus, the planet of love, relationship and money, ingress from your 7th house, the house of relationship, ingress from your 6th house, the house of physical health, daily details, daily routines, pets, ingress from the 6th house into Leo. Venus ingress into Leo in your 7th house. So Venus will improve your 7th house greatly. Why? Because Venus really loves in the 7th house. Right? Venus is the original ruler of the 7th house, which is the house of Libra. So Venus loves being here. So Venus will improve your relationship, your business dealings, business partnerships, improve your contracts, of course, also. So use this energy to charm other people, Aquarius. Okay, for the last rising sign, we will go to Pisces rising, the most accurate, followed by Pisces sun and Pisces moon. For my dear Pisces rising friends, this August will highlight one of your chart ruler. Because for Pisces, you have 2 chart rulers. First is Neptune, long term, and then Jupiter, medium, not necessarily short term, but medium term. So Jupiter will be highlighted this month for you, because this is going to be the luckiest month of the year. And by the time the 11th, the 12th, the 13th of August, Jupiter going to conjunct Venus and Sirius in the sign of Cancer, the sign that trines you, because you and Cancer both are water signs. So the highlight for this month of August for Pisces rising, first we're going to have Mars ingress into Libra. Okay, yes, Mars ingress into Libra. For my dear Pisces rising friends, Libra is your 8th house, because for Pisces, the 7th house is Virgo, and Libra is your 8th house. So Mars in the 8th house, not necessarily a bad thing. Why? Because the 8th house originally ruled by Mars, Scorpio house. So Mars here will ask you to face your secrets, your psychology, your subconscious. Mars likes to take action. The 8th house is also the house of resources, other people's money. You can use the energy of Mars to make more money by using other people's resources. But of course, do your homework regarding those things. Mars here will also oppose by Saturn and Neptune in your 2nd house. So Pisces rising, the 2nd house is Aries. Saturn and Neptune is currently in the sign of Aries in your 2nd house. So your money houses, 2nd and 8th, is going to be activated by Mars, Saturn and Neptune opposition. Be very, very careful, but do not be afraid, because this is also the time, if you do your homework, you can make a lot of money. And then after that, we're going to have full moon in Aquarius in your 12th house. So your sleep, your mental health is going to be highlighted, illuminated by this full moon in Aquarius in your 12th house. So pay attention to your mental health. After the full moon in Aquarius, we're going to experience, of course, Mercury goes direct in Leo, and of course Jupiter Venus conjunction together with Sirius. For your Leo house, where Mercury goes direct, right, it's going to be Leo is going to be in your 6th house. So Mercury is the original ruler of the 6th house, because you're Pisces rising, your 7th house is Virgo, Leo is your 6th house. So Mercury goes direct in your 6th house. You finally can get the improvement that you want in terms of your health, your work, your daily routines, your daily chores, everything that you want to improve regarding yourself, regarding your life, regarding your health, regarding your work. Finally, Mercury goes direct will help you, right? And then Jupiter, Venus conjunction will happen in your 5th house. Jupiter, Venus conjunction in the house of luck, in the house of fun, in the house of happiness. This is a very, very great blessing for you. Your children, your hobbies, your fun, your love, your romance, gambling, entrepreneurship, all of those things could be very beneficial. Beneficial, benefic energy will inject new life, new positivity, new optimism into your 5th house or your 5th house ventures. After your 5th house illuminated by this conjunction, we're going to have the Sun ingress into Virgo, your 7th house, and the new moon in your 7th house. So for Pisces rising, your 7th house Virgo, we're going to be further illuminated, further enhanced, and your Virgo house, which is the house of relationship, marriage, partnership, contracts, this house and the theme of this house will be further improved. The theme of this house will be further improved and will be even more important to you within the next month, because not only we have the Sun and new moon in Virgo, it's your 7th house, right? Eclipse also will happen in Virgo in September. So this extra oomph from the Sun and the new moon will provide a preview of the energy before the eclipse that we're going to experience in September. And then after the Sun and new moon into your 7th house Virgo, we're going to have Venus, the planet of love, relationship, and marriage. Venus will ingress from Cancer, your 5th house. Venus loves to be in the 5th house. Venus will ingress into Leo in your 6th house. Venus not necessarily loves to be in the 6th house, but Venus is good, is very positive in the sign of Leo. So just bear in mind, Venus in the 6th house, Venus will help you to improve your work, you improve basically your work environment. Venus also will improve your health, your pets. Venus also will improve your daily routines. So Venus will ingress from Cancer, your 5th house, into your Leo house, your 6th house.